Hey guys, to be honest, I'm a bit bored of Nintendo, so this podcast is now a PlayStation show called Operation PlayStation with my co-hosts Dash, Paul and Dylan. Cue the music.
PlayStation.
Whoa. Don't worry, we're still Nintendo and Bryce is back next week. Here's the real theme song. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 59. And we are the Nintendo Podcast, a part of the 8-Bit Collective. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me today is an assortment of the A-Team, as we say. We got Dash from dashgamer.com.
Plat.
We got Dylan Blight from explosionnetwork.com.
I love Buddy Watson.
And Paul James from player2.net.au.
I'm still more civil than Left 4 Dead. Just for you, Bryce.
Oh. That was a good hashtag. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today.
Well, thank you. It's good to be back.
Good to be here.
And after reading that out, I'm like, oh shit, I need a website apparently. Everyone else has got a website.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Well, it's not cheap, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, paying SoundCloud's enough, let alone your own website.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So today on the show, we just want to talk a little bit about the news, what's going on, what we've been playing, and talk a little bit about Super Mario Party before getting into a very saucy fan fiction at the end.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting.
But first, guys, I just want to send our condolences to the people involved at the Jacksonville shooting, what happened earlier this week. This mass shooting happens obviously a fair bit in America, but I think this one's one that affected the gaming community like right at its heart this time.
Yeah, it hits a bit closer to home, I guess.
Yeah, definitely does. I definitely felt it this week. It really did. Like I put out a tweet this week that I wasn't in the mood for gaming at all after that. So yeah,
no, especially because we all go to events like PAX and conventions, and having this type of thing happen would just be an absolute nightmare. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of things, like over here in Australia, we go to PAX or those sorts of events, and it's not something we have to really worry about. I guess, just the nature of what Australia is and the different rules that we have on guns and those sort of things. But then America, same sort of event, same sort of atmosphere, culture, and yet you can get it completely... Oh, I was going to use a phrase I probably shouldn't there. But it gets completely ruined by one idiot, I guess.
Yeah.
And kind of throws everything in the shit heap.
Yeah.
That's
unfortunate.
It's really worrying for us as well because we do, as you said, we do have events like PAX. We've also got our esports open next week here in Melbourne and
This weekend.
Oh, is it this weekend? Is it?
Yeah,
There
Melbourne. Yeah.
No, and I work for the company. I don't even know that.
Yeah, we all know how you feel about esports, though. So.
bloody fucking esports. But also, it was funny because yesterday I got to work and one of my friends were telling me about it at work. They were like, "Oh, did you hear about the shooting at the convention or whatever?" I'm like, "What?" And Buddy's at a convention at the moment. I freaked out and I thought they were talking about that. And it's fortunate enough that we live in a country with strict gun laws and everything like that. So, it was just very, very disheartening.
But even then, like with our laws the way they are, it doesn't completely remove the possibility that something slips through the cracks. So it's still like when it actually happens in your own backyard per se, it still does. Like I feel like I'll walk around PAX just a little more cautious than I've been in the past. I wouldn't say all that much more cautious, just because again, Australia, we have those rules.
Yeah.
But it's not to say something couldn't happen.
Not to go off
especially those who are going to PAX West in a few weeks or
it's
a few months?
this week.
This weekend, I think.
Not this week even. Yeah, imagine that.
Dylan, the calendar over here, knows every single date that's happening.
I try to keep up with the gaming world. Like, what industry am I trying to work in here?
Obviously, the date and time in
Yeah, the date and time. I'm trying to be a calendar man.
Nice.
The only time I've had a shooting event affect me in Australia was when the Dark Knight shooting happened in the cinema. And I knew straight away, my brain kind of argued back and forth, similarly to kind of how you're saying about walking around at PAX and whatever. Yep. I went to the cinema a week or two after that, and one half of my brain's saying, you don't have to worry about that. That is not a thing that you have to worry about in Australia. You should consider yourself lucky that you don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, there's the other half of you kind of still just looking around a little bit, a little bit skitty about it. So I can imagine if people were going to the, I think by PAX, because that's a couple months away, people will probably move on by then and it won't be as close in everyone's minds. But maybe some people are attending the Melbourne Esports Open this weekend, especially because it's an esports event, which is a lot closer than a PAX, I suppose. I can imagine if I was going to that this weekend, it would still be popping up in my head as I'm walking around. Yeah.
Well, surprisingly, I will be there, so
have a good time, Dash. Have a great.
Oh my god!
You can play
nothing to worry about, mate.
No, it's esports.
Yeah. All right. So, condolences to the family and everyone affected in that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, moving on to something a bit happier, guys. What video games have we been playing?
I've been messing around with the Messenger, which I can talk about because when this goes up, the embargo will be up. The Messenger is available on PC and, most importantly for the sake of this podcast, the Switch. Little action platformer, Ninja Gaiden-esque in some ways. Certainly not as brutal as those old ones. But it can still kick your ass if you're not careful. And it's been a hell of a lot of fun to play. There's just enough challenge there to keep me on my toes.
Yep. Yeah, no, it looks like a lot of fun. I've just been hearing a little bit about it here and there, sort of leading up to the launch, and it looks like it looks like it will kick your ass.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, if you're not prepared to play by its rules, and I don't mean in like the Dark Souls sort of, we've got these really abstract things, learn to work it out or get fucked, sort of way. But yeah, it's just you've got to adapt and you've got to learn how some of these mechanics work, and then string them all together in simple but effective ways, and then you'll progress and it's fine. The bosses themselves can be tough at times, but they're not soul crushing sort of stuff. Like you'll adapt. That's the real key. Is just adapt to whatever's being thrown at you, and you'll be fine.
How long is it?
Too long.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was because there's a perfect time to hit with these types of games, isn't there?
Yeah. It was one of those sort of scenarios, and I'm trying to think of a parallel right now, but it escapes me. You kind of progress through everything you feel like you've done. You're up to the final boss, and then all of a sudden, we need you to go out and collect and do these particular things, and it just adds a few more hours to it. And I was going, oh
boy,
because we are like Nintendo Australia. Sorry to slam you, but you screwed a few things up when it came to the Messenger. It was meant to be on the store, available for us to get early access to, and they dropped the ball for a while there. So I had to really try and rush as much as you can whilst reviewing a thing, but. Like, now the embargo's 3 days away. I better get into this thing, despite having the code for a week prior. And yeah, it was just one of those things. Like, everything's going well. There's a great flow to it. I had momentum. I was really enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, maybe I guess the best parallel is Wind Waker. How you had to suddenly go out there and collect all those pieces on all the different islands, and it just added hours and hours and hours to it. Same sort of idea, perhaps a little less infuriating and smaller in scope. But like, why am I doing this? Like, you had momentum, and they kind of blew it there. But otherwise, a very good game, and well worth playing. Yeah.
Would you compare it to, like, say, is it a throwback to some of the old Ninja Gaiden games? Is that what it?
Yeah, that's a good parallel in terms of the theme, in terms of the setting, the way you play. But it's just not going to kick your ass quite as much.
I love Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, then it's probably worthwhile looking into.
Very cool.
And it's super self-aware. Like, there's lots and lots of fourth wall breaking jokes. They openly refer to themselves as like a video game all the time, and it's I
didn't gather that from the reveal trailer at all. I thought it was just a very.
It's quite funny.
I'm more intrigued hearing that. Honestly,
yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. It's got a lot of competition, especially on the Switch, just from 2D platforming games, especially in indie. You got Hollow Knight. You've got you've got heaps of games.
Don't forget to play Hollow Knight.
Whatever else,
mate.
Knight.
You need to get on that one. But thankfully, this is more of your just action platformer as opposed to the Metroid, like heavy Metroidvania stuff that we see in Hollow Knight and Dead Cells and those sorts of games. This is a bit more traditional in that you don't have that kind of backtracking outside of when they force you to at the end. You don't have that component there, which is a big point of difference when you're comparing those genres at the moment.
Yeah.
So would you recommend picking it up?
Highly. Yeah.
Highly? Yep. Awesome.
It certainly prompted me to do something a little bit different with my review, so make sure to go and check that one out on the website.
Yeah, so they can go and check out your review when this is up?
By the time this is up, the review should be up. The embargo's at midnight tonight that we're recording, so I don't know whether Matt will hit go at that time. Our local audiences probably aren't going to be clamouring for it too much at midnight. But
well, there you go, Drew. Make sure that you post this one up right before midnight.
11:59, please. So yeah, go and check that one out at the Player 2 website.
Awesome. Dash, what have you been playing recently?
I've been playing Spider-Man, but unlike
I
can't talk about it. But other than Spider-Man, I've been playing. What have I been playing? I'll be honest with you, I haven't been playing much. I honestly been just kind of exploring the Xbox a little bit lately because I've had it sitting here and thought I'd switch it on and take a look at it. In terms of the
After
Switch,
you blow the dust off it.
Yeah, I actually had to give it a nice wipe down just to kind of, and listen to the cogs kind of turn after months of it being off. But on the Switch, honestly, nothing. It's been I've been thinking about this lately with the Switch. I mean, as much as I love my Nintendo Switch, and obviously we talked about this last time I was on. Then I've been exploring homebrew and everything on it. It's just in terms of what has been appealing to actually grab on the Switch right now. I haven't actually been nothing's been gravitating towards me to say, hey, buy me on Switch. I got Overcooked 2 on Switch while Buddy got it on the PS4 for some odd reason. I don't know why that bloke did that.
Trophies.
Trophies. Because hashtag
trophies.
every trophy counts. Obviously.
Damn right.
Oh my God. But yeah, no, well, Nintendo sent me Overcooked 2. Or I shouldn't say Nintendo. Oh God, I can't remember who sent me Overcooked 2. So they sent me
Team
Overcooked
17.
2 and thank you very much. Sent me Overcooked 2 on Nintendo Switch. I did play it. I loved it on Switch. It was great to have it on the go. But that was probably the last Switch game I played, to be honest. And, great experience. But I feel like in between now and Smash Brothers, it's really kind of a dry spell for Switch. But that's just personal, because everything else I'm picking up is pretty much been on PlayStation. So...
For the most part, I'd agree with that. I picked up Monster Hunter today, the day we're recording. Which has been interesting so far. Check my Twitter for that.
What is that game, quickly? Because it's like it's a remaster, it's a port. I don't understand Monster Hunter games.
Generations came out for the DS or 3DS originally, and it's just an HD port, essentially.
Okay, yep.
With a few new inclusions and whatnot. We've seen similar sort of things with Monster Hunter Tri getting old, or was it Tri, or was it the fourth one where it got a Wii U and 3DS sort of version? There was Tri. Yeah, it's
Tri.
There's lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter, everyone. It's complicated.
Yeah. Wow. But what did that come out on? Switch, yeah?
Switch, today.
Yeah. Okay. I should know this.
I was keen to pick it up, but it's $100, so it's a bit out of my price range for a game where I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to like it.
Is this on the digital store or is it physical?
I picked it up physically. I picked it up at EB by price matching, knocked $20 off it. But
well, shit, I might be in trouble tomorrow at work, so I didn't put it on the shelf.
Whoops.
Well, there you go.
You're a big old digital, though, aren't you, Drew?
Yeah, I go all digital with my Switch at least. Yeah.
Yes, boys. That's
so
the way you
I
should
can
be going.
Carry it around with me and not have to worry about game cards and whatever.
Yep.
I'm the same.
I want to go that way. When I first picked up the Switch, I didn't have the NBN, so I was treading water for a bit longer. I now do, and I've certainly made a few more digital purchases since, but it's almost one of those things. In terms of the big AAA, I've almost committed here, and it's hard to kind of break stride.
Yeah. Like with my 3DS, I had all my games on the cartridge, but just I end up not playing the games because I have to pick between the one I'm going to bring with me or the couple I'm going to bring with me. And now that I've moved into town, I've got the NBN and I can download games. And if I want to go and buy games, it's a 50k drive to the other town.
All right.
As well.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, digital's the way to go. At least for the Switch. The PlayStation, I like to get my games physically, just so then if I get sick of it, I can trade it in and have all those benefits. But
yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. What about you, Dylan? What have you been playing?
PlayStation.
No, I reckon I play my Switch more. I reckon I've played my Switch more than my PlayStation this year. All in all, yeah.
Just all Pokemon Quest.
Well, I mean, if you want to add that, that's over 100 hours, and obviously I haven't.
And that's 100 hours this week.
No, I stopped playing it. I stopped playing it after I got all of them. If you want to go over, how far are you at the moment? Have you continued, Drew?
I haven't played a whole lot recently. When I remember, I turn it on just so I can get my my tokens, or what they call them, Poké tokens.
Yeah, I can't.
Like
PM
like
tickets,
a daily
PM
thing or
tickets.
something?
Yeah. Anyway, I just turn it on, get my daily thing, turn it off. But I'm at like 130 something. Pokemon.
Drew, are you leaving your Switch on just to rank up hours on this thing? Because I see you're online and it has Pokemon Quest that you're playing. Are you just like right now on pause or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it's just stalling. Yeah, I must have just lost what's going on.
But yeah, I obviously I put a lot of time into Pokemon Quest when that first dropped, and that was all I was playing.
120 hours? Holy shit,
yeah.
Bill.
I wanted to complete the Pokedex.
Oh my god.
I wanted to complete the Pokedex.
Save that for Pokemon Let's Go, mate.
Well, I'll complete the Pokedex
where you can
there
just
too,
trade everything over from Pokemon Go and be done in about 15 minutes.
That's cheating. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not doing
that. Don't do that. Don't do that crap. Play the game. People play the game properly.
120 hours.
It dashes over you having a fucking aneurysm.
He's running
if you
the
mind,
maths.
if you got a mind, it says Pokemon Quest. Played a little while.
Yeah.
How do you beat that which has no life?
Don't worry, I was really tempted at one stage going, I wonder should I try and get them all in shinies? But
man.
Oh wow.
1,000, 2,000 hours racked up later. The most recent thing I played on the Switch though is I wrote a review for it. I don't think it's up yet because I have to go over and do another proofread of it myself. Was 2064 read-only memories, which is a port. I really, really like this game. It's definitely specific audience because it's visual novel, very heavy on text, little gameplay. I treated it as a book before bed. So I was playing about 30 minutes to 60 minutes of it every night before bed instead of actually just reading a proper book because...
and after you played Pokemon Quest for an hour, right?
No, I haven't played Pokemon Quest for a while. I stopped after I got I got the Mew and that was it. That was the solving of the conundrum for that one. So yeah, that's... And that's one of the benefits of playing that particular game on the Switch is, of course, portable, can lay in bed with it, play a little bit of it. Works out really well. The tie-in to that is the whole news of the comics coming to the Switch, which I find interesting as well, that the comics app thing coming, because after spending a week pretty much reading a book in bed off my Switch, I'd be like, okay, yeah, comics, Switch, sure, that can work.
I did see like a list of different, I don't know, publishers or distributors or whatever that were listed there. None of them made any sense to me because I'm not a big comic guy. Are these prominent names that are on the platform or?
Not really, but
okay.
It's
better than nothing.
You don't have like DC Comics flying the flag, but if enough people download it, you could see DC and Marvel jumping on. But we'll see. It's interesting.
There's a Sonic comic if you're interested in that.
The what one?
There's the Sonic comic. I saw listed there. Yeah.
Some of those Sonic comics are all right, actually. So they're better than a lot of the games. I reckon the Sonic comics have a better hit rate than the games at this stage. And then other things I played is I reviewed Hands of Fate 2 as well on Switch. I didn't particularly like that, or Hand of Fate 2. I wasn't a fan of that game. I'm sorry to let down the Australian indie department.
I can actually hear Matt Hewson over in Canberra exploding when you said that.
I'm sorry. The writing in it really well. The writing that's in it is really done well. The D&D aspects or the adventure, the text-based adventure stuff. However, everything that's actually the gameplay I was getting so bored. And the hack and slash stuff that you have to do in it when it takes you into an actual battle is just... Oh, I couldn't. I didn't even finish it. I was not liking it that much. So, and then other than that, I've obviously been jumping around the big ones that have come out recently. Octopath, been just chugging along with that in between a bunch of other things, and jumped on the Captain Toad, because as much as I loved that game when I picked it up on Wii U when it first released, I just, like every other game on the Wii U, I fucking hate this console, and I can't be fucked playing it anymore. As much as I want to play this game, fuck this console, and I stopped playing it. Yeah. So I was so happy when they announced that I was porting it, because it was, yes, I can go back and play that and actually enjoy my time with it, and I am. And it works so well in handheld mode. I don't know why you'd play it on the TV. That seems like the worst way to play it, because it controls bad. Have you played it on with the whole like motion sensor cursor thing that's on the fucking screen?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
No, don't do that. It's play that game handheld only. Play that game handheld only.
It's such a pretty game though. It's really nice to have on the TV, but yeah, that way of aiming is a bit difficult.
Oh, I found it. Yeah.
It's weird because you're talking about that. The essence of Captain Toad essentially came from Super Mario 3D World, which I personally find to be one of the best looking Mario games I've ever played. And, you know, I say that in the same vein of Super Mario Odyssey, one of the nicest looking games, but not my favourite Mario game. I felt that I had a lot more fun playing Super Mario 3D World than what I did with Odyssey. Only because I think the layout of Odyssey was a little bit... I mean, they said, oh, you know, it's a true sequel to 64. But with Odyssey, I found that it just went by too fast for me to even notice. And with Super Mario 3D World, I just still think that ranks so high on my list of one of my favourite Mario games, up there with like Galaxy 2. And
oh, wow, yeah.
It got overlooked. I feel that Super Mario 3D World got overlooked because it was on such a mediocre console like the Wii U.
I do actually agree with that.
Yeah, I spent hours playing Super Mario 3D World to get all the stars, to make it to like that final world where you go above like the moon and the clouds and all that stuff, and you end up in that golden world, whatever, where you end up at that very final level. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't played it, because there'll be plenty of them, but plenty of you who haven't. But
also you take on Bowser, like it's a Mario game.
No, it's so good. And you know, I'm hoping from the rumors that they're suggesting that they are going to try and port it over to the Nintendo Switch. God, I hope, because there's rumors that it might be New Super Mario Bros. U, and there's rumors that it might be Super Mario 3D World. God, I hope it's 3D World, because that game is so good.
I mean, I wouldn't object either way.
Well. Absolutely perfect for the Switch, just taking off the Joy-Cons and being able to play together, especially since it's aimed so much towards that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily object either way. There's some dud New Super Mario Brothers games out there, but
True and New.
U is not one of them. I thought U was alright.
I just felt that 2 and New were just, both of them were just not that good.
I'll happily go hard on 2. 2's not that crash hot, and I wasn't a massive fan of New Super Mario Brothers Wii. But the original DS
really?
one, the original DS one and U, I think, are fantastic.
Okay.
I think the original DS one was just so... It was actually mind-blowing at the time, having Mario return back to 2D, and you can do all the triple jumps and wall jumps and that in the 2D games. I thought that was really awesome. But
I thought it was groundbreaking, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that probably skews my view a little bit, the nostalgia.
Well, they marketed it as 2.5D side-scrolling Mario, I remember at the time, and it was really like a callback. I remember seeing like early screenshots of the game and thinking, holy crap, that looks so good. And when they brought it out, finally, I was surprised by it, because it was given to me as a gift, because I was heading overseas at the time, and I was given it as a gift, and God, I loved New Super Mario Brothers on the DS. It was so good. Yeah. There you go. Drewby, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bit of Captain Toad as well.
Yes.
I never bought it on Wii U, because at the time it came out, I think I just sort of said to myself, I'm not really fussed about playing this console much anymore. But my God, it's such a fantastic game. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Just going into each level and really trying to 100% each level before you move on. I find it so satisfying, especially in handheld mode, where you can just pick it up and do a level and put it down. And I had to go at the 3DS version as well, because I was curious, like, what's the difference? Like, how did they port this Wii U game to the 3DS? And surprisingly, it's the exact same game. It's just really blurry.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Really, really blurry.
Oh dear.
Like when you look at the small details on the Switch version, you can see the flowers flapping, and you can see the grass and all that swaying. It looks really awesome. But the 3DS, you just it's really blurry. Like I'm playing on a 2DS XL. Maybe if you're playing on the smaller 3DS, it might improve it a bit. I don't know, but yeah, but it is the same game. So if you want that puzzle sort of platformer in your pocket, and your Switch is a bit too big, I'll probably say go for
get
the
bigger
3DS
pants.
version.
Yeah, I was going to say just get bigger pockets.
Just get bigger pockets,
Yeah, it
Get
is.
some
It is
lining in your pockets, and get some lining sewed into your pocket so you can just shove it in there.
Yeah, or you take off the Joy-Cons, you put them in, and you put the Joy-Cons in the other pocket.
Yeah,
There we go.
solved.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
You don't need a
Got it.
phone, nor wallet, nor keys. Just make sure you got pockets available for your
Now,
Switch
chuck
bits.
your car keys in the river next to you, then you just put the Switch in, and you're good.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say with
It is-
on Captain Toad, obviously it's been years since I played the Wii U version, but when I've booted up the Switch version, I thought it looked 10 times better than how it looked in my memory. And I don't know if it's just the screen compared to, or maybe it's just having it so close to my face playing it in handheld compared to sitting on a couch playing it
Or maybe it's
originally.
just the frustration of not holding some Tupperware in your hand.
Yeah,
to control
maybe.
the actual thing.
Maybe it's not the cloud of anger that was covering me every time I played the Wii U.
What's that? Crackle, 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 plastic, plastic, plastic.
Yeah. Oh dear.
No, I agree. It does look a lot prettier. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe the hardware inside the they've even said the hardware inside the Switch is better than the Wii U, which I kind of find astounding that they can actually fit better hardware in the. But I mean, I've been surprised. We've been surprised by some of the AAA titles that have come out on the Switch, like Wolfenstein and Doom, that look amazing, just as amazing on the Switch as they do. If they were on low res settings on a PC, right? But they look incredible in handheld mode on a Switch. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yep.
surprises.
So give us a Captain Toad 2.
Please, yes. I want to ask you guys who have played The Walking Dead, the final season, because that's just come out on Switch today. So I'm just
Yes.
a bit. I'm curious what you guys think of the first episode of that.
Dylan,
go,
you can.
Paul.
Yeah,
I was
Dylan.
about to say.
Go on, go, Dylan.
I think it's me and Paul basically agreed because we talked about it on the episode of Play It we did together, that it's a very long drag, but feels necessary at the same time. It's the longest episode as far as I'm going to say I'm aware. I haven't gone back to test every fucking Telltale episode, but 2.5 hours is quite lengthy. And for a series for a series in its final season, it does a lot of setting up new characters and all this sort of stuff that you wouldn't think is what you would be doing in the final season. You'd just be getting towards the finish line. But then the cliffhanger ending kind of makes you go, okay, yeah, okay. I'm on board. Give me more. So let's see this thing out with 3 more episodes.
Yeah, I do agree that it's a bit weird that we're kind of having to go through that setup thing, but I've also found that each season, and we try to ignore the third season because it's hot trash, but it keeps just each season we pick up with her being dropped into a new time period, new setting, so we almost have to get that set up every single time because here's a bunch of new characters. We're not bringing that much with us each time. In this case, we're bringing AJ along, but that's about the extent of it, and it means that you're kind of, and even then he's, I don't know, Dylan, what would you say, maybe another 2, it seems about 2-3 years older than what we last saw.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing with AJ that's so weird is he's in season 2 as a baby. He's born in that season, That's how we're introduced to AJ is a baby in season 2. And in season 3, spoilers for season 2 and 3 of The Walking Dead at this point. In season 3, we don't see AJ at all because he's off at a different community, and the storyline is about Clem trying to find him. And at this point, he's, I don't know, 4 or 5, I guess, is the rough idea or something along those. He's old enough to be walking, talking to a degree, but you never actually meet him and interact with him in that game. And so going to the final season, he's there, he's a character.
And he's waving guns around.
He's waving guns around, which is really creepy. But I would say it's really, you don't meet AJ as a character until season 4. Because, he's the most interesting element of it, and a character that I haven't seen in either the comics or the TV shows tackle because most of the children that you have in the Walking Dead previous, like Carl, for example, are people who were born pre-epidemic and kind of just trained how to deal with the scenario, much like the adults are dealing with it. But AJ is a child born into this world, and with that comes the problem of he doesn't really know right from wrong. You know, is killing this human bad? I don't know. What's the difference between killing this human and killing a zombie? Just killing's killing. The episode literally starts with him in the back of a car as Clem's driving. He's just twirling a gun around, and it's really creepy. Just gun barrel, just click, click, click. And Clem's
before
not
you
like,
even see him, you can actually hear the sound.
Yeah, you just hear it, and it's really off-putting and creepy. And of course, us as adults see a kid with a gun, and you're like, that's scary, that's freaky. But Clem, in the world that they're in, isn't like, put the gun down, you can't play with the gun, you're a child. She's just like, can you stop that? That's a bit annoying. So they're tackling interesting elements this season.
It's the equivalent of, and me as a teacher here, a student tapping a pen whilst I'm trying to talk to them or whatever. Like,
it's a bit annoying. Put that down.
Can you stop, or I might flog you?
Yeah. Jesus, Paul.
Is that the same reaction you would have to a kid with a gun or something? Like, put that down. God damn it.
Just get it out of here. Come on, save it for later. What you do at home is your own business.
Almost,
I'm kidding,
dialogue,
by the way.
that dialogue that you're just talking about kind of reminds me a little bit of, what we usually see in games like The Last of Us. And, you go back to... It's funny because when The Last of Us 2 comes out, we're kind of re-experience those kind of themes again. So, very, very scary world to even think about living in those kind of things, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
My one go-to thing for it is if you kind of dived off at the third season because you didn't like it, and I'm someone who only played the third season to get ready for the fourth because I didn't like the look of it at all, I would suggest just Wikipediaing what's necessary from season 3 and jumping into season 4. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
completely unnecessary.
Season 3, then you reckon?
Yeah.
So, was it... It's not necessary to play 3 at all, really.
Because I haven't played 3 yet, so...
I'll be honest, I've been trying to get in. I've tried probably 3 or 4 times to get into even season 1. I can't do it. It just doesn't grab me.
I don't think season 1 has aged well.
Maybe. Look, I've played
Just like
I
the
played
engine.
a lot of Telltale games though. That's the thing. Like Tales from the Borderlands is my favorite Telltale game, to be honest. And I wish that got a Switch port because that would be freaking amazing. Even though it's regularly available like on iPads and whatever else the portable devices are out there. But I wish there were Switch ports of some of these other Telltale games that are really good. Minecraft Story Mode I always found to be fun, and I played that on the Switch as well, which was really good. But I don't know, Walking Dead, you're right. I think maybe because it was part of their really their really stiff old engine, and it just didn't really appeal.
That first season is their kind of crossing point because it combines a lot of what they're doing now, which is the talking and the interactive movie stuff, but it still has a lot of the puzzle solving, pick up items, you've got to use it as grab the key, then walk over here and put the thing in here.
Point and click tendencies.
Point and click, that was still one hand in here, one hand in here, but now it's just very much you conversation choice and
linear narrative adventure.
Yeah.
Secret of Zombie Island.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved season 1. I thought that was awesome when I played it back in 2012, but replaying it recently on PS4 to get the platinum, it was a bit much, sort of that first bit of the first episode, sort of trying to get through the drugstore, finding out what order you've got to sort of get the keys and do all this. Like, okay, I don't really want to do this, but it's good to see that this has come to Switch finally. So the season is, what was it on Switch? It's $35.95. So it's the same as the PlayStation version.
Thank God.
Which I'm really happy to see because
Batman got fucked.
I don't know if you guys remember last year that Batman, the Telltale series, came out last year, and it was $62 for the season.
Jesus Christ.
Which is just ridiculous. I don't know why they thought they could get away with that. And I don't think anyone bought it on Switch. It wasn't in the charts at all on the store or anything. So,
well, I definitely wouldn't have bought it on the Switch because I played it on my PlayStation 4, and even then it was buggy as shit on the PlayStation 4. The amount of times it crashed on me, I remember they actually sent me a code for that one, and I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll check it out. And the amount of times it crashed on me, I was like, this is not even worth playing for the rest of it. But I did. I played through it. I enjoyed it. I especially, I enjoyed Anthony Gruber's version of the Joker. Yeah. And, I got to actually talk with Anthony about it too, which was really cool. But the problem with it was the interruption of the game keeping on crashing, and it was like, I am not buying this on Switch because of this. And I got a feeling that, like, playing it on Switch, it's going to happen again, and I'm not even going to bother.
I'm actually really curious, and Dylan and I spoke about it in regards to the PlayStation version of the game when it first came out. The PS4 version was, and it was, I think, a surprise to the both of us, really, given the track record. It was as smooth as butter. There was not a single issue for either of us, and I'm really, really curious to see what happens now that it translates over to Switch.
Yeah. With Batman, I heard all the stuff about how buggy it was, and I played up to episode 3, finished that. I'm like, oh, no bugs. I don't know what everyone's on about. Then at the end of episode 4, it did the thing what Assassin's Creed.
Oh, the face thing, Unity.
The face thing, yeah. I actually put it on Twitter, so his whole face disappeared apart from his eyes and his mouth. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I got that too.
Then it crashed on me. And
that was one of Batman's gadgets. Don't know what you're talking about.
Erases their face.
You can see their brain and what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I went back to the save point. I finished the episode. Then I started episode 5. And that whole episode was so jittery. It was like frame by frame. I'm like, oh my God, this is really pulling me out. And I absolutely loved the game. It was so much fun. It's one of my first introductions to Batman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
I wasn't really much of a Batman person at all, and I played that because it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I absolutely loved it, and I went and watched the Batman films and that after that. So I recommend that. I recommend it a lot. Just you have to get through some bugs in episode 4 and 5, unfortunately.
But has the price come down on the Switch?
I haven't checked. I don't think it has. Otherwise, it would be on sale. But
I'll check now for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll grab my Switch, but I don't have one.
I'm jumping on it right now. I was gonna say the thing that kept me honestly on there, kept playing honestly, was the portrayal of the characters, like Troy Baker's Batman, as I said, like Anthony Gruber's Joker, those Laura Bailey's Catwoman, all these things were pretty much like, that's what's keeping me playing, to be honest. Because if it wasn't for the acting in the game, which was 10 out of 10. I probably would have. There you go.
Oh, really? $63 still?
Holy shit!
Nope.
That's way too much.
Yeah, no, not worth it. I think I paid like $29.95 for the second season. Like, what the hell? And I think the second season came out within the same time frame as the first season on the Switch.
Yes, it did.
I don't think season 2's not on the Switch. It's just season 1.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm talking about like the second season came out on the PS4.
I believe
in that same time frame. Yeah, and I paid like half the price.
Yeah, I don't know what the I don't know what the Switch tax is on that. It's literally double the price. So I don't know what's going on there.
Don't forget, there's also the Australia tax in there. No, that's right.
Oh my God.
Some games on Switch they're actually a bit cheaper. I got the Adventure Powers, and it was something like $4 cheaper or $6 cheaper.
Yeah, I did hear about that. And that's a great game too.
Yeah.
Fantastic game.
Yeah, not every game is more. It's kind of odd how some games just
charge
more.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I've cheated the system a couple of times here and switched over to like the American eShop. American eShop, and bought games from there because I've done the equation and I've noticed that some of the games are like almost $10 cheaper on the American eShop than what they are on the Aussie one, and I'm just like, really are they actually putting an Aussie tax on these games right now? So yeah, it befuddles me how we end up paying like a premium on some of these games. I mean, look, PlayStation Network does it as well. I think there's like a $20 premium on Spider-Man for us. In America, it's $59.99 to pre-order Spider-Man digital store and $99.95 Australian. And I did the equation to the US dollar and everything. $82.99 it costs to pre-order from the
I mean,
American store.
that particular one is not exclusive to Spider-Man. That's the typical translation.
That's just
RRP.
RRP.
Is our full price, yeah.
That's correct. And it just makes me think we are still paying it. Like, we're paying a digital premium to pre-order these games on the PlayStation Network, but it's also on the Switch as well. So I'm not kind of saying it's just one thing. It also does it on the Xbox as well. I remember I pre-ordered Mirror's Edge Catalyst on my Xbox from the US store as well, because it was almost, I think, $35 cheaper to pre-order it on the US store than what it was on the Aussie store. So
that's the real trick that we're in at the moment. Like, we're still in this at the moment. All three publishers, like console manufacturers, as well as the third-party publishers, are still upholden to brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
So they can't, or they're not in a position yet to undercut digitally the retail price in store. Yeah. They can't have big Switch exclusive X, I don't know, let's say it's Smash, for example, going for $100 at EB and JB and 80, 90 digitally, because that will just aggravate the retailer, and the retailer will just bail on them.
Yeah. You'll never see those games $100 at JB.
Well, yeah, sorry, they're doing a great job, but yeah, sorry, the RRP. No, you're right.
Thank you for the compliment. Company man over here, Dash, is trying to defend his company. No, but what I'm saying is, the reason you'll never see it like at $100 at like places like JB or Big W or Target or anything like that is because now I'm talking company man. Excuse me. So what they do is they suffer a loss when they sell those kind of games, but what they do is they count it as a profit when you have a customer who comes in and buys like a cheap headset or something and buys the game with it, or even somebody who comes in and buys a console, and it obviously becomes profit. But if I'm selling a console on its own, it's loss. If I'm selling a game on its own, it's loss. If I'm selling a really one of those $5 or even a packet of batteries, AA batteries with the game, they look at it as profit.
Okay.
Yeah, Big W does the same thing with somebody who comes in, buys the game, and they walk out with a bottle of water, a bottle of Coke, or even those big bloody buckets of Chupa Chups or anything like that. That's a profit.
So it's just to get you in. That's all it is, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Get you in the door and then hit you with the rest.
And that's why when you go to EB Games and you price match with JB, and you see that little cringe in their face when you say price match, and you just seem like, okay, that's why, because they get it. That becomes a loss immediately, and they got nothing else in the store to basically turn around and make a profit from.
I just assumed because they got like a big crate of the games or something, and they got each game for a lot cheaper than they'll get it. Yeah, but
you'd be surprised, yeah. But it's just the fact that they don't like EB Games do not like it when you do the price matches like at all. Just you can even read it on the employee's face, because you can tell that they're probably going to copy from their higher ups as well when you price match. But hey, man, you know what? They have a price matching policy. Take advantage of that shit.
We're through the looking glass, everyone.
That's right.
My local EB Games was the worst at one stage. They wouldn't price match. They wouldn't let you.
What? Really?
They can't not let you.
They're pretty much the only games store in town. So they used to be in a complex with only a Kmart. Okay. So they said, well, the only place you can price match is Kmart, and that Kmart doesn't do video games.
Yeah,
I don't think any Kmart does video games anymore.
Not anymore.
No. So what they did, they've moved to another complex now. They're right across from Big W.
Well, they fucked them.
So they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I have actually heard that policy before, though, when it comes to EB. Unless the place that you're trying to price match with is within, I think it's 20 Ks or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less than that. They don't want to play ball, because their argument is that whatever it is that you'll save by price matching, you could spend having to drive over there. So buy with us.
You turn around and say to them, okay, then I'll just price match with my digital store, and I'll buy from there from now on. You can get
I'll just download it, and I won't even come in your store and buy plushes, whatever.
I won't name my closest EB, but they know me for my writing and podcast stuff, so they're happy to play ball with me when I walk in today, for example, with Monster Hunter, and go, price matching with JB. I know you don't have one in town, but do it, please. And they'll knock the $20 off for me, which was good. Thank you, EB. But I understand that not every store is prepared to do that.
Yeah, sure.
So wait, Drew, you don't have a JB in town?
No. Closest one's Adelaide, which is 4.5 hours away.
Fuck it up.
So no.
Can't dash time to start talking to people. Make it happen.
I'll try my best.
Preferably in his backyard, please.
I'll do my best.
No, I'll just be looking at. I'll be looking out my window, just saying, "Hey, sorry, I'm not coming in today. I'm actually downloading my games." I hate to tell you.
Well, it looks like you don't even have. You can just leave it on by the thing. But by the looks of things, you're trying to rack up some hours by cheating, trying to get yourself looking like you're racking up more hours than Dylan over here on Pokemon Quest.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the Dylan Blight of Pokemon Quest. How many hours do I have? 65 hours. There we go. Okay,
You're halfway there.
Yeah, halfway there.
You can be like me one day. It's okay.
Come on, those are rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up.
Towards the end, though, it's so grindy. I'm sort of swearing me out. Just
you kidding me? Dylan's going to go to bed tonight and rake up another 5 hours on top. Come on, get to it.
Damn it. All right, guys, let's move into some news that happened this week, I guess. After 45 minutes.
I don't know what you expected from this podcast, but you've got it.
You mean this isn't the end?
I knew what I was expecting, I think.
Yeah.
So all of these are from mynintendonews.com. They seem to be they're a good website I've been using just to keep track of Nintendo news. So if you're interested in keeping up the news, go to their website.
Go on, Philip Mewson, give it to us.
Yeah, Philip Mewson. Hey guys, this is all my content. Here we go. So sales of the Switch version of Blossom Tales have surpassed Steam by a factor of 20. This was news a while back that it was about 15 times the amount that was sold on Steam. Now the publisher has come out and said that it's outsold the amount of copies sold on Steam by 20 times, which is quite incredible. Yeah, so we actually had the developers of Blossom Tales on a few episodes ago, and they were absolutely over the moon with the reception the Nintendo communities had to their game, and it actually saved their studio from going under. So that's incredible. It's another story on Switch, which is much people like these games. Have you guys had an opportunity to play Blossom Tales?
Still not yet.
Still not. I thought about it's on sale at the moment. I was literally looking at it last night going, do I want it? Then I'm like, I got fucking Octopath Captain Toad. Like, no, you chuck money at walls sometimes, Dylan, and that would be one of those purchases. But it's definitely on the list when some of the games get finished.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can right now. As I said, I got to finish off Spider-Man before I do anything. But I'm sorry, I know I keep shoving it in your face, but it's there. Like honestly, it has been one of the games that I have been looking at to play, definitely. And like Dill said, it's on sale at the moment, so I might actually just chuck that.
Like 20% off, I think, at the moment.
You know what? That's not a bad. I might actually grab it while we're talking.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal at all.
It is one of those ones. I think there was an even bigger sale, maybe
33%.
I'm going to say 2 or 3 months ago, and I picked it up then with the intent of playing it, and it didn't eventuate. But I've now got it there, so it's
I'm pretty sure the first time I heard about it was the first House of Mario episode I did, and Drew was on about it then, and I was like, sounds cool, great. And after we finished recording, I went to my Switch, put it on the wish list. It stayed in that wish list since then.
It actually, by the looks of things, it just looks so much like
it's Zelda.
A Link
to the Past.
It's Zelda.
Yeah, it's definitely taken heavy inspiration from A Link to the Past.
Definitely makes me want to play it, though.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I find it funny that they were surprised it sold so much better on the Switch to Steam. Do you think do you think the Zelda, or I had to use the word clone, but do you think your Zelda-inspired game is going to sell better on Steam or the Switch?
Yeah,
I think the more appropriate name for clone would have been, what was that, the other Zelda clone really reminded me of Wind Waker?
Oceanhorn.
Oceanhorn, yeah.
Oceanhorn.
That's the one. That if we're talking Zelda clones, you can't get any more Zelda clone than that game. Seriously, even from the bloody box art of that thing. All right, you can clearly see Link on the box art of that thing.
Yeah, like that game blew up on Switch as well. Just people are obviously hungry for a top-down Zelda game on Switch.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was like one of the first demos out as well. So
Nintendo doesn't release them enough. Is the thing? People would pay for a top-down Zelda game every 6 months, or at least once every year, but Nintendo doesn't give people the opportunity to put their money down for that.
Yeah, but then people will complain too, because they'll say, Nintendo's just milking their franchises.
I reckon everyone would complain, and at the same time as complaining, they would be fucking playing them. So
it's a weird sort of complaint for people to be making anyway, because we've seen a steady trickle of Zelda for decades now. It's just that it's been shared across a home console and a portable platform. Now the portable platform is also the home console. A question with no notice: how many Zelda games do you think will be on the platform by the end of the generation? New ones, so not ports. We'll say no ports.
New ones?
Probably like 3 or 4.
And that obviously we've already got one in Breath of the Wild, but
Are we counting the Dynasty Warriors thing? What's it?
No, that's a port.
No.
Okay. Then I'd probably say 3 or 4, like Drew as well.
Yeah, I'm inclined to think 3 or 4. Like this platform's got some legs, so I wouldn't rule out the possibility that we see another 3D Zelda of some sort.
Yeah.
And then we've seen the Zelda team work on 2D games in the form of A Link Between Worlds or whatever over the journey as well. And I figure there's scope for 1 or 2 of them to drop as well. So I feel like we're in a pretty good space where we're going to get a nice mix of those games from Nintendo. And then when you get the likes of Blossom Tales as well, it just adds to the pool of available games there. I think it only bodes well.
Alternative question on that: if you're going to count remasters, how many Zelda games are at the end of the console life cycle if you're going to count remasters and ports?
All of them.
Yeah. I was going to say all of them. Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about re-releases like on their
everything? So Virtual Console, if they bring Wind Waker over, if they bring Skyward Sword,
everything over.
Everything.
I don't think they're going to bring Wind Waker over though. Oh no, actually,
Wind Waker I think's all right. Skyward Sword might be the issue.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword has to come because you know why I didn't play that game, everyone. You want to know why I didn't play that fucking game? Because it was on the Wii. If they port that,
no, it was on the Wii.
The Wii.
Oh, the Wii. Sorry.
It's
waggled.
The Wii?
Yeah, but I don't like the fucking shaking around the.
Yeah, no, that was shit. But didn't you like the Wii?
The Wii. I liked it better than the Wii U, but for the most part, I didn't like the waggly.
Yeah, I know. The
waggly.
You've got to stop doing that, man.
Look, the listeners
we
can't
haven't even
see
gotten to
me,
the fan fiction yet.
Jerking my gherkin over here,
visual,
but it's fine. It's fine. No one can see all the.
What I was going to say was, did you own a Wii?
Yeah, I had a Wii.
Did you? Everybody owned a Wii, even your grandmother owned a Wii. But what I'm saying is, did you play Galaxy?
Oh, I love Galaxy. I reckon Galaxy is my favorite Mario game.
There's a lot of this in Galaxy, though.
It's slight because you can have your controller by your sides, and then when you need to do a spin in Galaxy, you can do just a slight little tap. You don't need to be holding it, pointing at the screen, widely waving it around. So
I'll give it to you though. You're right, and the reason is because Skyward Sword came out right at the end of the Wii's life cycle.
The Motion Plus thing.
Oh my god, yeah. But the thing is, by then everybody was over the motion. Movements and controls. Everybody was like, okay, this is just too gimmicky for me now. I can't keep up with this bullshit. I don't want to keep moving my hands while playing a game. I just want to sit there with a nice controller in my hand. I think everybody's saying it. I just want to sit there with a controller in my hand and play a game.
Play the game.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that's also why the PlayStation 3 kind of boomed at the end of that generation as well, because it was really... You had the Xbox 360, which was doing well until the Wii came out, and then just kind of blew it over. And then you had PS3, which was just doing shit at the start. And then I feel that once the Uncharted movement, I call it, came out and through it, it just kind of helped it get up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see Paul sitting there like,
It's just you said Uncharted, and all of a sudden my heart just swelled.
Yeah, I love Uncharted. It's the best. It's so good.
Just with Skyward Sword, I really like the story, but the dungeons and the repetitive nature of sort of how the game was put together really turned me off by the end of it.
If it's repetitive, do you think that having the ability to play it as a on-the-go game, if they ported it to the Switch as a handheld, would kind of fix some of that? It would.
No,
I absolutely.
You can just see how they put the game together. Like, it's just like, do a dungeon, do the challenge, find the dungeon, it just rinsed and repeated the whole time, and I ended up putting it down for 2 weeks just because I was like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But the story was good enough, but it pulled me through. If I didn't care about that story, it wouldn't have appealed to me much. But
see, I'd argue Dylan's point actually works in that case because of the pick up and play nature of the Switch, and the fact you can do it in little bite-sized chunks means that you perhaps don't, especially if you're new to Skyward Sword and you've not played it before, then you maybe don't detect that stuff because you're picking it up, you maybe play for 10 minutes and there's half the dungeon, or maybe a half-hour binge, there's a dungeon done. Then you come back and you do another thing, and they're only little pieces, so they're always segmented off.
Yeah.
And that might make those a little bit easier to swallow.
There's a good game there, but I feel like it's there's a lot of problems with Skyward Sword, and I'd rather have something like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or even Twilight Princess. I feel like would be a better game to sort of pick up on the Switch, but
they're all going to come. They're all coming. They're all coming. Every single one.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was the first story, wasn't it?
That was.
And we're almost an hour in.
Oh my God. So guys, are you guys excited for King K. Rool to come to Smash?
Yes. Yes.
I saw the amiibo the other day. Made me laugh.
Man, I love that bloke.
It's not the selling point for me, but
there's a Twitter account called Kremlin Campaigner with a K, and they actually sent a letter to Sakurai to thank him for including him in the game. So they say, on behalf of every Donkey Kong Country fan and King K. Rool supporter around the globe, thank you for listening to us, and thank you for being an amazing game director. Words alone cannot describe how happy we are. Thanks to his inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, King K. Rool will forever be immortalized as a Nintendo All-Star, looking better than we could have ever imagined. This moment is quite literally a dream come true. Your hard work is an inspiration to everyone working in the video game industry and to anybody considering joining it. We have no doubt that Ultimate will not only be the best game in the Super Smash Bros. Series, but one of the best video games ever made. Period. Because King K. Rool, I wasn't a huge Donkey Kong Country fan. I quite enjoy the games, but I wasn't clamoring for King K. Rool. But King K. Rool was one of the most requested characters in Super Smash Bros. Period, apart from Ridley. And now that we're seeing Ridley
Goku
and King K. Rool, it is quite surreal actually seeing these little pockets of the Nintendo community quite happy.
Can I just make note here? While you were reading that, I was just watching Dylan kind of soaking in this letter. Like, what is this horse shit? Like, what is this? This is fucking bullshit. Like, can I just say that it's just so, it is so bad. I remember back at when they were talking about Brawl, and they were back at Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and they were talking about characters getting released, on the website, how they were showing each character reveal back in 2006, and everyone was like, where the fuck is King K. Rool? Where is King K. Rool? I'm just like, you're going to be kidding me asking for King K. Rool. Of all fucking characters you asked for, you're asking for King K. Rool? We want big characters like Sonic, and we got Sonic, which was really good.
Yeah.
But King K. Rool is not, for me personally, a selling point. I love Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite of all time on Super Nintendo, but King K. Rool is not a selling point. But yeah.
I mean, I think it'll be great to have him there just for a bit of a laugh. Yeah. I don't play as those big, heavy characters. No. That doesn't kind of suit the way I play Smash, but it'll be good fun to do it. And while you were discussing that whole thing and kind of reading out the quote, I went diving for that Twitter account, and I found it. 2,222 followers. One of them being David Wise, the composer of Donkey Kong Country.
I love him.
So I'm like, all right, I can get around this. But also, it's been active since 2014. They've been asking for him for a long time.
And they're located at Crocodile Isle, so...
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, there you go.
They've got their own Discord.
Jesus Christ.
Are you serious? They must have been just sitting there all day talking about King K. Rool.
Can you imagine the day that, when that finally dropped?
That Discord had a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
All
We're
five
all playing tonight. Donkey Kong Country, everybody.
It's like
I'll say this for
it's like when you've got these
the
little
king.
pockets of the Nintendo community. You're just like the Nintendo character gets announced. You're like, why the hell did they put him in? Who
Who
cares?
cares?
But there's like such a passionate group
Yeah.
that absolutely loves it. And like watching the gameplay that come out just before Gamescom of the character, he looks like a lot of fun. He looks similar to what you would expect from King DDD. Like he's a strong, fat, goofy character. It'd be a lot of fun to play as. Yeah,
I will say that I'm glad that they did include in his character his variation of Captain K. Rool in his character. That was really cool because Donkey Kong Diddy's Conquest is actually my favorite out of the three.
Agreed.
Out of the three originals, yeah. I think there's going to be like a bit of an uproar that they didn't include the third version of him just because there's those people who are like, oh, but where is I can't remember. I think it's Baron K. Rollenstein or something. I think that was the third one, but yeah. And there's
always complain about something.
Yeah,
it's all about the king. The king is back.
But yeah, King K. Rool and a little bit of Captain K. Rool salted on there, which is really good. Look, I'm happy that they got what they wanted, but it's not the selling point. The selling point to me is honestly the gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh. Well,
hold on.
Somebody's about to cop it. Shit's happening. Drew, you're about to cop some shit, boy.
I just wanted to say that I'm home.
Okay, hello. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Cut it or keep it. This will be good for everyone.
For us watching, for a second, I was like, it's a serial killer. And I was like, wait, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Jeez, I could hear the footsteps. What the fuck?
King K. Rool? Wait, what?
You should have heard
there's someone stomping in coming to get me.
You should have heard the sound of the door on our side, like, oh shit, he's in trouble.
Yeah. You're fucked. I'll So yeah, I find it hilarious that they've announced the king. Because I'm not a Donkey Kong's fine to me. I don't really care. I laughed, but at the same time, I'm not like, who the fuck cares? I'm happy that people are happy. You tell me a story about this fan base with the Twitter account. It makes me laugh, but at the same time, I'm glad that those people are happy.
I almost feel like this community
you have a little
has its own
chuckle.
law. It's great.
Yeah, I'm sure they've brought an island together. They're all going to move there one day. Whatever.
I just laughed before when he was reading. Dylan's just sitting there with his hand over his mouth, like, this is such bullshit. But yeah, okay. Oh man,
the internet, everyone.
Yeah.
The next one is Bethesda says that their Nintendo Switch games have proved to be highly popular.
Wow, okay.
Fuck.
Quote from Pete Hines when he spoke with IGN. He says, referring to the games, it was highly popular. All of the stuff that we did, I think folks enjoyed and appreciated. And we wanted to make sure we said the right thing, that this is a title that we want to bring to Switch. And we think it's going to be another awesome experience. So it's good to see that some of these games are going well on Switch. I haven't actually had an opportunity to play Doom or Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch yet. But
Pete, let's give it to you straight, mate. It's simple. Anything that you make that's big and popular and you put it on a portable console, it's just going to be popular regardless. Like, people are going to soak that shit in. Seriously. They'll soak it in like a sponge and love it. Because they'll be able to take it everywhere with them, you know?
Yeah.
Wolfenstein, Doom, Elder Scrolls. Mate, you take it, you put a portable, people love that shit, so, yeah.
Yeah, it just depends, because Doom Eternal's coming out too, it just depends on if you want to sit down, have your 60 frames per second, gorgeous graphics, surround sound, or you want to have the opportunity to pick it up on Switch and have 30 frames and lower graphics. Just depends on what sort of experience you want, whether you want the portability.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think anyone who's got a choice isn't going to play it on the Switch. No. However, it's for the Nintendo fan base to have the opportunity to play these games is fantastic, and I love seeing the third-party support, especially from Bethesda this generation on Nintendo console. Mm-hmm. The only reason I'd ever pick up any of these games is second playthrough, handheld, for fun. I'm going on a holiday. Oh, fuck it, I'll buy Wolfenstein or Doom again just for the sake of having something to play. Why not? But none of these games, as someone with access or, the privilege to have the access to PC, Xbox, PS4, Switch. I've got everything. I'm not going to choose to play it on the Switch because
you know where
I'm
the
just
best
handicapping myself.
Is.
yeah, you know where you got to go. But I am quite happy that the Nintendo fan out there who just buys the Switch gets to play these games, and they run well enough from what I've heard. You're not playing a utterly terrible experience.
It's not a Telltale game.
You're not. Yeah, it's not a Telltale game. You're not playing the best version of it. You're not
Just
playing
going full circle.
you're not playing the best version, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter.
I agree.
It's good.
Yeah, what holds me back from buying some of these games, I forked out for Skyrim, but for Wolfenstein and Doom, just them coming out so much later and being so much more expensive, that's what holds me back. By the time you could get Wolfenstein 2 for $90 on the Switch eShop, you could probably get it for $20 on the PS4 or Xbox One. So,
How much did you pay for Stick of Truth? No, whatever, the Fractured But Whole?
it was on sale for $53 on the eShop.
Holy shit! I think it's like $10 right now on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, that's the point I was reaching, I suppose, is that...
Yeah, but that was a game where I thought it would benefit a lot from having it on Switch, so...
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. That is an RPG that is going to... Playing it on the Switch is a great place to play either of those South Park games, I think, but... Are they going to release at a cheaper price point? Any of these Ubisoft big AAA, any of these Bethesda AAA games, they're not going to release at a cheaper price point, even if they come out 2 years later, 3 years later. They're still going to release at the highest price point, and people are still going to play it. And I don't think you can complain too much. They're not reaching for the day one audience of these. They're like, here, do you want to replay it on the go? Here, you've only ever had the Switch. Well, now's your chance.
Yeah, it's like Ubisoft brought out Rayman Legends on Switch for $60 last year. And you can get it for probably
it's like 10 years old.
$5 everywhere else. So,
yeah. It's been on PS Plus, probably,
it has been,
whatever else.
And Xbox Gold and
games with gold.
Gold,
Yeah. Well, isn't it funny that I remember when Watch Dogs came out, when they promised it was going to be at launch of the next gen consoles or this gen hardware back in 2013, and they basically delayed it until the following year. And we only saw it on Xbox and PS4 and I believe PC at the same time. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's coming for Wii U. We didn't see it for like probably another year and a bit before it ended up on Wii U. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's out. It's on Wii U. Here it is, full $79 for you to play. It's like, are you serious? Nobody's buying this.
Which is, funnily enough, how many sales they got as well. About 79.
Yeah. Probably. It's probably the same as what else? Mass Effect, Batman on the Wii U. They all came out like a year later.
At the beginning of the generation was...
Yeah.
Terrible, to put it bluntly.
That Mass Effect port really confused me. They're like, oh, it didn't sell that well. So, well, you're putting it on a console what hasn't had access to the first two games, so I don't know what you're expecting. Then a couple of months later, they actually released the trilogy on both the other consoles and not the Wii U. You think the Wii U would have been the one to put it on, so you could have a new audience play through all three games, but...
Yeah, weird.
EA, everybody.
Oh, well.
Yeah, even EA is just like, well, they didn't buy it. It's like, well, I'm not going to jump in straight to the third one, but...
That doesn't surprise me.
There's some smart people at these companies, but man, they can make some stupid decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To bring it back around to Bethesda, I like the idea because it just clicked into my head. For some reason, I just pictured we're approaching the end of the current generation, and you can look at Bethesda's lineup of games and go, wow, all of their games, or 90% of the games, are all on Switch, PS4, and Xbox. That's a crazy thing to think about to me. You know, that compared to the last few generations is quite odd, especially if you're going to look at the games like Doom's on a Nintendo console, and you know, the Doom 2 Eternal's on a Nintendo console, and all these big violent R-rated games. You can take them on the go.
Well,
it's quite crazy.
Fallout 4 is expected on Switch, isn't it?
It's not announced.
Yeah. It hasn't been announced, but there is strong rumors suggesting that it will end up on Switch.
That makes sense.
And that'll probably end up at the time when 76 ends up on PlayStation and Xbox. So it's going to be one of those things where they end up saying, oh, you know, last gen hardware. Like this is a thing. This is a theme that happens with Nintendo. Unfortunately, where these developers say, well, it doesn't really have the capabilities of running it, but it can run Fallout 4. So you know, here you go. Here's Fallout 4.
What's the point? We're all, everyone else is getting Fallout 76, and we're getting Fallout 4. So that makes it 72 times worse than Fallout 76, right? Basic maths.
That's right. Yeah.
It's just common sense, Paul. It's just common sense at this point. Yeah.
Again, these publishers have no idea.
Yeah.
Tell me how much more time you'd spend in those settler mucking around with your little hometown if you can take Fallout on the go, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like I'll have to leave. I can leave my house now. I don't have to stay here and just watch the TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, have you guys seen the new Super Smash Brothers Pro Controller design that came out this morning?
It looks really sharp.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I think it's fairly basic, but I think it does the job. So
have you
basically,
seen it,
sorry, for those who haven't seen it, it's just a Pro Controller with white handles and a white Smash logo on the face. So it's not as pretty as the Xenoblade 2 controller. I think that one's really nice with the red handles and sort of the red splash across it. But
even the Splatoon one,
yeah,
I quite like.
How did that one look in the end?
It was multicolored, like
was it just green and pink on the handles,
like
or was there a bit more to
on the handles?
Yeah, green and pink on the handles.
I think
and it had splats all over, sort of where the buttons and that are. Yeah.
Oh, cool! I didn't realize the splats were on there. But all right, awesome.
It kind of reminded me, actually. This one kind of reminded me a little bit of the Xenoblade one. Where the Xenoblade had the was it the pink, like the very dark, not pink, purplish handles, and the the Xenoblade cross on it. I liked the design of that controller. I like the design of this controller. However, I kind of find that I don't know how many people are like, oh, it's Smash. I guess a lot of people will be buying it, but yeah.
No, they won't. They'll be buying bloody GameCube controllers.
GameCube controllers, that's a thing, and that's what I was going to bring up. The fact is they've got GameCube controllers out now with the re-release of the adapter, which everybody was going completely freaking nuts over the first time, and even people hocking them on eBay because a lot of people can get their hands on them when the Wii U version came out. But I'm hoping that Nintendo learned their lesson from the last time, which, let's be honest here, that's not going to happen. We'll see. I think we're going to see a lot more people buying the GameCube controller rather than the Pro Controller, which is a shame because the Pro Controller is honestly the best. Other than the L2R, I don't even know what the Z2, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The two back trigger buttons at the top there are not analog, they're digital. I'd still prefer if they were analog because the great thing about having that would be more accessibility for people to understand that some games on GameCube cannot handle digital buttons like Sunshine with Flood. You cannot actually have digital buttons to control Flood. You need the analog buttons to control Flood, or else it just doesn't make sense for the game to work. So there are certain things like that where people say, oh, I'd love what's it called, Virtual Console on Switch so I can play Luigi's Mansion or Sunshine or even like Smash Brothers Melee. It doesn't work like that. So there are a couple of hardware things there on the Pro Controller that I understand. Whereas if they had the hardware like they have now with the GameCube controller, which does have the analog triggers, it works like that. So personally for me, I'm going with a GameCube controller because I already got a Pro Controller. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks sharp, but yeah.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this Smash design to come out because I want a second controller, and I knew they would inevitably have one. Like I want to start using the Pro Controller for this iteration of Smash because I can't use the GameCube controller when the Switch is undocked, and I'm over wires now. I'm just sick of them. I was really hoping they were going to announce like a Wavebird 2, so like a wireless GameCube controller for the Switch. That's what I would have really liked. But yeah, I'm not going back to wires.
You give Nintendo too much credit.
Yeah, well,
too much
I'm
credit.
not giving
Again,
credit.
publishers not very
It's
smart.
a pipe dream. Yeah.
It's the House of Mario, mate. Where you going?
I think this is the ugliest of all the Pro controllers, and I know I'm probably in a minority with that, which is fine.
What's the
but
prettiest?
I think the Xenoblade one is the best, and which is funny because you think it's so similar, but in my eyes, for whatever reason, that's at the top, and then this Smash one's down the bottom. Yeah, when I saw it pop up this morning, I was just like, ugh, that just seems like a quick Photoshop print job to me. I don't like it at all. But if people buy it, they're happy. Whatever.
I'll have a quick look at it again.
I'm a fan of the simplicity, like the white handles there, and then the logo. It's all very it's just very minimalist, I guess is the word I'm looking for there, and it really kind of caught my interest. I'm not going to grab it because I've already got too many controllers for bloody everything in this house. But yeah, it looks pretty good.
Is that a steelbook along with it there, Drew?
Yeah, so that's for the US.
That's important news.
Special edition that comes with the game, steel case, and the controller.
Get that to Australia because I love myself a steelbook.
Yeah. Look, if they bring that deal to Australia, suddenly I have the shitty Pro controller.
Man, you go nuts for those steelbooks, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I love the best digital steelbooks.
They need more of them for Switch titles because the Switch steelbooks. I've only got one so far, the Bayonetta one, and that one was really, really good.
No, Xenoblade 2 did one.
Xenoblade had.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I must have it because I've got the collector's edition and I don't even know.
Must have it.
Have you not opened it?
No, I have. Honestly, it's sitting up there and I haven't opened it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I got the code for it. I was like, well, on the shelf.
Yeah. I've got a pretty box full of things I can put up and think about.
I've got like all these boxes up here with the stuff, and it's like I don't even have to open up half of them. Yeah.
You brought up a good point, though. I didn't really think about it till you said it, Drew. How many people are going to go move back from the GameCube controller because they want to chuck the Switch in the bag with the Pro controller to play at their, docked handheld, whatever mode. As everyone does with Fortnite now. They just chuck in the Pro controller with the console and they're set up ready to go wherever they are, face down at recess against your kids at school, So
they get a detention from me if they do that. And I smash their Switch. Kidding.
Excuse
me. I love him.
Such a meanie.
Stop it! It's already dead.
I wonder how big of an element that'll play in Smash with people's controller choices, I guess.
Yeah, I think most people will use the Pro controller, but the more competitive community will stick with their GameCube controllers. You'll never take the GameCube controllers away from.
You're not going to see someone on the esports scene playing with the Pro controller. That'll be. Well, maybe someone, and then they smash everyone, and I'll laugh. But
like every now and again at a tournament, like for Brawl, you used to see people with a Wiimote nunchuck, and you just sort of looking at them, shaking your head.
You're talking about I shake my head at every esports conference. That's
yeah.
Oh. I will say something though. Like it'd be nice if they had a nice accessory to come out for the Pro controller that actually sit the tablet on top, so that you're actually playing with the Pro controller if you're on the go. I mean, I know that the Joy-Cons are there for a reason, but I feel that a lot more people would rather be playing with the Pro than the Joy-Cons.
It's a bit heavy though, isn't it? Like
it'd be so heavy though, wouldn't it? Yeah.
What is that enormous antenna sticking out of the top of your Switch?
That's his microphone from his headset.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Trying to get reception here, guys.
For you, the listener, right now, think about a pen for the iPad and imagine that sticking out the headphone jack of your Switch. So about 5 meters into the air.
Yeah.
And that's what we're currently seeing emerging from Drew's Switch at the moment.
Yeah.
The Franken Switch. This is the next story is about the Detective Pikachu movie.
Oh no!
So this
Have they busted him lighting up a dart yet?
This is a really odd one. The title is the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie will feature photorealistic Pokemon.
What? Oh my God!
That would require Pokemon to be real.
Yeah. So, what's his name? Rob Letterman, the movie's director. He says they're incredibly real. You should think of it as the way of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy character Rocket Raccoon sits in the movie as if he's really there. It's that technology. The same group of people that have worked on that or worked on the Jungle Book. We've got the people on it that have worked on Fantastic Beasts. They're technically some of the most high-end visual effects in the world, Letterman said. It's completely photorealistic, like they're alive and in the movie.
This is going to be so bad.
It's going to be interesting anyway.
Oh God!
The movie could be horrendous, but I'm intrigued to see how it works from the tech standpoint, though.
Yeah,
like when it comes to what you just described, Ben, that actually sounds kind of cool.
Like every now and again, you're on Facebook. It's like, oh, look, here's 20 Pokemon if they were real, and you go through. It's like a picture of a furry Pikachu in a forest, and you sort of click them through, just seeing what they look like, what the artist drew. So
what I will recommend for people if they've not seen it, there's a guy called Joshua Dunlop. He's got some stuff on Twitter and I assume all over the internet. He does some art of Pokemon that as if they were real, and it is extraordinary. They are fantastic. So if you've not seen that before, I recommend you, the listener, go and check it out.
Yeah.
I think that you can take the story two ways. You can take it to him meaning it's going to look like a lot of that fan art you see where the Pokemon look really fucked up and weird. But I took it as they're just going to look like how you think they're going to look like from the games, the shows, whatever else. They might be slight changes, a little bit more furry than you'd think Snorlax was or something. You know, just... Or something along those lines. I don't see them changing the Pokemon drastically because they want this movie to work, and Nintendo is heavily involved with it upon the story, the Pokemon that they're going to include in the movie. Because the director, I think I read the full interview, or at least most of it, and he at some point talks about, you know, what Pokemon they want to include, and he said he's only a big fan of the original 150, but talking backwards and forwards with Nintendo, they were trying to work out to include, you know, a bunch of favorites for the originals, a bunch of the new ones, you know, mixed all around, so there's stuff for everyone in there. The whole Ryan Reynolds voicing Detective Pikachu thing, it's something that I don't know if will be terrible or great until I hear it in action, because it could honestly go either way for me. It just totally depends on how it goes down. But the most important aspect for this movie to work is how real do the Pokemon look, and how well are they interacting with the real life actors. And if they can't sell that part, the movie's terrible from that moment. Like, it just needs to... They need to meld into the world and look real. You don't need a Snorlax standing outside of a New York City building and you walk past it and go, CGI. You need it to really look like it's actually there. And if that doesn't work, then the movie just flops straight away.
Which I guess bodes well then, given some of the experience of some of the people you were talking about there, that they've worked on your Fantastic Beasts and those really big, high-end, big-budget Hollywood films where they've got a lot of CG.
Have you seen Jungle Book?
Which one?
The remake.
The Disney one way back.
Yes.
Very realistic.
Yes, the very realistic cartoon.
The John Favreau one that came out a couple of years ago is what he's talking about. So that's one human actor. It's a kid in it, the Mowgli kid. And then everyone else is obviously CG animals. Yeah. And that movie, great. Everyone works well. The kid... fantastic actor to work with the CGI for a start, but all those animals look real in the worlds that they're filmed in, and they look like they're interacting with the child well. So when they say that as an example, I'm like, cool. From a tech standpoint, I'm on board. But for this whole movie, I'm still like, I understand why they didn't want to do Ash, because their reasoning is saying there's you know, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of the shows and the movies, and Ash has been done to death. And if we're going to do a movie, we wanted to do something else. I'm like, sure, I understand, but at the same time, just give us Ash.
Yeah, I agree. and this is the thing too. I mean, as much as I love Deadpool and all that stuff, Ryan Reynolds' cast as Pikachu is just like, oh my god. Like, are we going to get pretty much the typical Deadpool Ryan Reynolds dialogue out of Pikachu now? And
that'd be awesome. And then he can grab a pool cue, smash someone over the head with it, and we're off to the races.
I remember there was the big clamoring for when Ryan Reynolds was cast. Everyone was like, kidding, it's not Danny DeVito? And I'm just like, you really want to run with that meme right now? So, yeah, for me, I am not a fan of this project whatsoever, to be honest. This whole Detective Pikachu deal, for me, is a no-go. Honestly, if they want to make a proper Pokemon film, they should just make a proper Pokemon film. Like, just do it right. Make sure that you have some of the original writers part of it, so that you don't fuck it up like every animated to live action film that goes out there. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this project, to be honest.
Yeah, like on one hand, I'm intrigued to see what it's like, because it is nice to have a movie that is completely different compared to the one we get every year, where, you know, it's Ash Ketchum saving the world. You know, they've really run the movies into the ground. But
hey, man, It's original every time.
Yeah, apparently. He never ages.
I
don't know how he doesn't age.
When do you ever see Ash Ketchum turn into concrete and Pikachu's tears bring him back to life again?
Yeah, actually, in the one of the last
Still makes
movies,
me cry that moment.
in one of the last movies, he died and he come back to life. And like, all right, we've seen that before, guys.
Cry, Paul, cry.
How many times can this 10-year-old die? I don't know.
Fucking 1,000-year-old that's pretending to be a 10-year-old at this point. Bloody demon child that doesn't age.
Because the game Detective Pikachu was actually quite witty and charming in its writing and that. So having a movie based on it will be...
Yeah, but it's the game.
Yeah, well, hopefully they carry that over to the actual movie.
Talking about Hollywood here, man.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yes, let's be optimistic.
Cautiously?
Yes.
Yes. And lastly, we have Super Mario Party does not support the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Apparently,
What?
this annoyed some people.
No shit.
I can see why.
Yeah.
What?
It is annoying if you've only got like one set of Joy-Cons and a Pro controller, but the game is based around sort of using the Joy-Cons and the motion controls. You've just got like a Joy-Con each, and that's sort of how you play the game. So I can see why the Pro controller wouldn't have worked necessarily.
This is stupid. I hate to be the negative Nancy again here. This is dumb. I don't agree with this whatsoever. Every single game that goes on the Switch should support the Pro Controller regardless of motion movement. I mean, look, doesn't the Pro Controller have motion?
It does,
detection?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring it back to Captain
Yeah,
Toad.
I guess,
Implements the controls fucking terribly, but it's
Regardless,
there.
it should have it. Like, every single game should have
So-
Pro Controller support regardless of what it is. And yeah, no, I don't agree with this whatsoever. And I mean, it's like, I hated the Nintendo 64 controller, but it's like almost saying, hey, there's no Nintendo 64 controller support for Mario Party 3, and it's just stupid. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
No, Nintendo.
I can see both sides of the argument. Sort of, it is annoying. Like, I've got this thing and I can't use it, but yeah, at the same time, like the way it uses the motion controls in the mini games, it's like there's this isn't necessarily a good example, but there's a mode where you're all rowing a boat together and you're meant to hold it like you're rowing a boat type of thing.
Oh, God. Yeah. Sorry, guys, no trigger button support on GoldenEye 007 on Nintendo 64 now.
I agree that in principle every game on the Switch should use the Pro controller, but playing devil's advocate, the reason they get away with it not having to use that all is because, hey, the Pro controller wasn't in the box. It's an extra accessory that you chose to buy and we don't have to include.
Fuck off. That's
but you know that's what they would they would spin.
Yeah,
It is bullshit, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, but that's exactly how they'll get away with
It makes sense in Nintendo's boardroom. Is that where it makes sense?
Yeah. But it's bad consumer. It's not good for the consumer, and that's the problem. And it's also something that could cause a decent amount of loss of sale. So I could see an amount of people not choosing to buy it because of this. There's always a certain marginal people that are just like, fuck this, I'm not buying it, you fucked us.
Well, I think that they're not really worried about this. Here's the thing: Super Mario Party is filler. Let's be honest; it's there so that people buy it in between now and Smash.
Yeah, and it always comes out near Christmas time too, like or heading towards the holiday period.
I'm pretty sure we had this exact same discussion, Drew, last time I was on House of Mario with Buddy, where we were talking about Mario Tennis Aces, and I said that by the time Smash rolls around, we're going to forget about Mario Tennis, and we're going to forget about Super Mario Party.
Buddy won't have, but yes.
Yeah, I know, pretty much. Buddy will still be like, Dash, let's play some Mario... You know, he's been still messaging me, Dash, let's play some Mario Tennis Aces. I'm like, fucking, I've gotten over that game. But yeah, look, honestly...
Besides, Luigi's dead. You can't play tennis anymore.
He's still going on about Overcooked 2, and I'm like, I've already beaten that game. Fuck off. But it's just a case where, with Super Mario Party, I just feel that, as I said, it's just filler. It's there. I don't think that Nintendo are really going to be like, how's the sales going? How's the sales going? If they're really that intent on how the sales are going for that, then yeah, they should have thought about everything should work with this. But the fact is that not everything won't work with it. And like you said, Dill, it's going to cost them some sales. And people, not everybody hates Mario Party. Let's just put it this way: everybody loves it, but everybody
I want to
hates
love
because
it.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I do too. But the thing is, you buy it, you play it, you invite your mates over, or your family, and like, let's play some Mario Party. By the end of it, you're all fucking frustrated.
I remember
lost, and it's like,
what
throw
was
it
the
at
Wii
all.
U one? What number was the Wii U
10,
one?
I think.
10. I remember
10,
getting
yeah.
10, and it's like 2-3 hours into it. You're trying to force yourself to pretend you're enjoying it. You're like, let's play another round, guys.
Is that the one where you're in a train and you all
Yeah.
have to move around together?
That was 9. I think.
It was a car or something. It was whatever. And that was, but it's like, we're having fun, aren't we? I've paid $100 or $110 for the fucking amiibo edition of this game. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I think.
And then you get to jump in and play in an Uber together. Yeah.
Wasn't 9 and 10? 9 and 10 were developed by a new team as well. Like Nintendo were doing it up to 8, and then I think 9 was taken over by a new
That sounds
team.
about right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when like 8 was terrible. Like it just got too much by the time 8 rolled around. They're like, we need a reboot. No, you don't. You need to stop. So, I don't know. Super Mario Party looks okay, I guess, but it's not going to be my cup of tea. That's for sure.
I'm interested in it because I haven't actually bought a Mario Party game before. I enjoyed the ones on GameCube.
Oh, really?
But since then, I haven't. There haven't been any good ones. So.
Yeah, you unfortunately got on after the good ones had released.
Yeah.
So the developer after from 9 onwards has been ND Cube, which is a Japanese video game developer based in Japan with offices in Kyoto. ND Cube, the font is exactly the same as
They are owned by Nintendo.
Nintendo. They're a
I did
subsidiary.
some research,
Yeah.
ND
Cube.
I'm actually...
They're newish. I did some stuff about them a couple of years ago. But
Really? 18 years ago they were founded.
Jesus.
Sorry, in terms of their activity, they kind of splintered off. They've been they've been a title more than anything else, but then they've actually split off and started doing some stuff for them.
Well, they are doing Super Mario Party as well for Switch. So.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the new one solely from Andrew Goldfarb's article that he put up on IGN the other day. I don't know if anyone else read that one. He played the game and got to check out the multi-switch, side by side, link up the screen gameplay stuff that they were talking about, which when they initially showed it, whenever they talked about the game initially, I was like, okay, whatever. It's, the dual screen game, whatever. But his article where he said it works really, really well and you get some really great mini games out of it, and sitting around a table with two switches sitting side by side, linking up in these weird shapes and whatever else is quite going to be a lot of fun for parties or whatever, however you want to go about it. That intrigues me simply from a development standpoint. I guess it's interesting. Whether it's just it's interesting for 2 hours and now the joke's over and I'm sick of it.
It's a cool
gimmick and then it's over, but it's enough of a gimmick that I want to check it out at least.
Yeah, the technology of it makes that possible is really cool. And having it as like pretty much like become like an actual board game you're going to be sitting around a table playing is really cool too, instead of just sitting in front of the TV. I really like that. I'm really hoping this one's going to be good. I really want another Switch game I can play in a party situation, whereas people who aren't as familiar with controllers and all like buttons and whatever, like to the extent where they're not even that comfortable playing stuff like Mario Kart. I hope this is a good game to play along stuff like Jackbox Party Pack and things like that at parties. Yeah,
it's something that Karen can pick up and enjoy.
Karen loves her Switch games though. She's pretty hardcore, so I would use her as an example.
When's
Don't say her name too loud. She'll storm back in the room and give you a whooping. All right.
You say it 3 times and she'll come bursting out of
the door just bursts open again.
When's this out? This is out a couple weeks before PAX, right? Like early October or something like that?
Yeah, October 5th.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll all get it and then we can all sit around in a circle at PAX.
Oh, Dash
I'm
won't be
keen.
at PAX.
Yeah, well, I know Dash won't be at PAX. Dash will attempt to come to PAX.
Nothing's confirmed yet.
Yeah, that'd be great fun actually, sitting around playing with us Mario Party with a few beers and that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, you could have gone anywhere with that.
And I feel like with that whipping out comment, that's almost a segue right there.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, guys. Let's get into some saucy fan fiction.
Oh my god. Like, Paul's just like, yeah, nah.
I'm losing my job for this.
It's disappeared from my thing, so I've got to find it again.
Oh no.
There it
Also
is.
means you probably have to do some editing
He's
now.
found
So
Oh, that's all right. So this fan fiction is called. So just a disclaimer before it does get a bit vulgar, a bit erotic.
Oh god.
So if you don't like that type of thing, tune off, I dare say. But it's called Peach's Sleepover.
I don't have enough beer for this.
So,
Oh man, it's a Peach cross Zelda one? Yeah, boy.
so do you guys have it up on your computer?
Yeah, I
So
do.
I'll read a chunk, Dash, you read a chunk, then Dylan, you read a chunk.
yeah, I'm getting the link open, but
Paul needs another beer.
I need another beer and I need to keep my job, so... As soon as I understood that we were talking about something that could potentially be erotic here, I thought, my job might be in a bit of strife. I read through it and gone, yeah, I could lose my job for this, so I'm steering clear.
See, I only just briefly read through little bits, and I got to a paragraph
Oh, mate.
where it said something. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll leave it there.
Mate, when I scrolled clearly a little more thoroughly through this. This is going to be quite entertaining.
This scares me a little bit because Drewby is sitting in a really dark setting with just this light on him that just this is just really bad. Oh man, that's bad.
I skipped to the end like you do with all great books, and I'll tell you what, guys.
7.8 needs more
Yeah,
water.
it needs more water.
What kind?
Oh, sorry, it has too much water, I should say.
You need more water, a bit
my dear
dehydrated.
God.
All right. So it starts off with Peach x Zelda. So Peach is bored and calls up her friends. Almost none of them are available. They hang out and things get steamy. It was a normal, beautiful day
It's a hot
in the
day.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Where is NATO when you need him?
And while Mario was off on a go-karting vacation, Princess Peach decided she would stay and look after the castle. Mario, I wish Mario would be safe. Goodness knows what could happen to him under the dangerous courses the drive on. Peach said in a concerned tone.
Peach has an Italian accent now? Jesus.
Peach has adapted to Mario's lifestyle
Yeah.
and background.
But I best not worry. I guess I'll have to occupy myself in another way until he comes home. She pulled out on top of the Line Mushroom Kingdom cell phone and scanned through her list of contacts. I could invite Daisy over, she said to herself, but I'm not sure she and Luigi are doing something together today. They are such a cute couple. How...
I was going to say, notice no quotation marks over this at all. Like, this dialogue is supposed to be quotation here, no quotation.
the worse the grammar, the funnier the thing, so that's okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
How about if I invited Rosalina? She's always very fun to have around. Oh wait, she has been busy with all the Lumas up in her space observatories. Dang it. She continued to scan through her contacts and she's found Zelda at the very bottom of the list. You know, because she starts with Z. Only makes sense.
Yeah.
Peach,
No shit.
Peach and Zelda never really hung out much until one time when they met at a library and had a perfectly fun conversation about most randoms of subjects. She decided that she would call Zelda to see if she wanted to come over for some tea or something, if you know what I'm saying. A
Hot
really
coffee.
loud Legend of Zelda theme plays through the halls of Hyrule Castle. Ah! Zelda screamed as she fell to the floor from her bed. She felt her head. Okay. I wonder... I must have fallen asleep reading again. She put away her book and reading glasses, which nobody knew she needed, and quickly picked up her phone. Hello, this is Zelda, she said. Hey, Zelda, Peach said energetically and adorably. I was just wondering if you wanted to come to my castle this afternoon to hang out and stuff. We haven't talked too long. Okay.
Slow down.
Well, Link is here, so he could take care of the castle. Sure, Peach, I suppose I could come over for the day.
God, grammar.
Awesome. Thank you. Mario is on another karting trip, so I thought we could just get some girl time in, you know. Yeah, I guess so. I'll be over in an hour or so.
It's just become the most bogan thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, all right.
Rightio.
Okay,
I'll
see
be
you
there.
then. All right, do you guys want to pick up from there, Dash?
Oh, God. All right, fine. With a click of a button from either end, the call ended. Now Peach had to get things ready, while Zelda just had to get out of her PJs and take a shower before going anywhere. How come you've picked me now? Because you know you've just read the most PG part, you know that. It's about to get worse. Peach had decided that this was going to be a sleepover with just themselves to make for fun conversation, and they could probably play some games or something else as well to make up for any spare time. Yeah. I wonder where Zelda is. Peach said to herself, no quotations. It's been an hour and a half. I wonder if she has gotten herself into any trouble. Peach then thought that she may as well just call her up to see where she was. Hello, Zelda. Hello, Zelda. Hello, Zelda, where are you? Jesus Christ, fucking hell, this is terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I fell asleep while I was having a bath, but I'm heading over
She's
right
fucking
now.
always falling asleep. What's going on?
She's
Man,
dead.
She's got what is it? Narcolepsy. Calm down. Well, I guess I shouldn't have worried. She's got narcolepsy. She shot herself. But here, how is she getting here? Whew. Oh, whew. That was too close. What was close about it? Anyway, Princess Zelda
I nearly drowned.
Yeah. Princess Zelda thought to herself as she closed her erotic literature put down her night and put it on her night table and to recollect herself from the amount of excitement that the book gave her. Well, I guess I should be going. And where do I put my panties? Oh, never mind. There they are. Ha ha. As she went to pick them up, Link knocked on her door and she quickly kicked him under her bed. Come in, Zelda shouted. Link peered into the door quietly and stared at Zelda as she stood there waiting for him. You look beautiful, Zelda, Link observed. Zelda blushed. Oh, Link, I love you. But can I ask you... Link, I love you, but can I ask you to take care of the castle today? No, I have an afternoon of plans with Princess Peach from the Mushroom Kingdom today, and I thought you could stay here instead of running around Hyrule Field and such. Sure thing, my love. Yeah, right. Link said as he gave Zelda a warm, embraceful hug as his hands wandered lower onto Zelda's rear.
Here we go.
Yeah, boys.
Anyways, Link, I had better be going. She pulled away from Link, smoothly hoping that he didn't notice her lack of panties when he fell to her rear. Yes, Princess, have a good day. And with that, Link exited the door, and Zelda quickly snatched her dark purple panties and used Ferore's wind. Okay, thank you. To teleport. Thanks, Paul, for that. Thanks, teacher. To teleport the Mushroom Kingdom right outside of the castle. Princess Peach sat on her balcony waiting for Zelda's arrival. She up at the clouds. As she saw carts hang gliding over the... You know what, Dylan? You know.
Okay.
Go on.
I could take it for a little while it's still G-rated.
Okay, you do a little G-rated if you want them, Paul.
Where were we up to, though? Oh, there we go. We saw carts hang gliding over the castle. Yes. Sigh, I do love days like this. I am surprised that they were flying so close to the castle, though, I must say. Hey, that cloud looks like a mushroom, and now it's a one-up mushroom. Wait, why is the cloud turning green? Suddenly a green light bolted down out of the sky, and there appeared Princess Zelda in front of Princess Peach's castle.
Right.
Of course, I forgot she could do that, haha. Zelda, I'll be right down, Peach said excitedly, and ran down the halls of the castle to the front door to meet her friend. The doors were pulled open by 2 good toadstool guards, and then Peach and Zelda were standing face to face. Hello, Princess Zelda said professionally, because being professional is exactly what's required in this scenario. Something we're not being right now, but anyway. Hi, to which Peach says, hi, with a load of excitement.
Have you ever said hi with a load of excitement, just like that? Hi.
You just can't express excitement with a single word like that.
Hi.
What's the first thing we're going to do? She asked with a look of excitement in her eyes. Again, excitement. I don't know. I kind of figured we would have all figured this out by the time I got here, Zelda giggled. Well, how about we... Oh, I got it, Peach squealed. Follow me. Peach grabbed Zelda's hand and pulled her through the castle at running pace, and Zelda had a hard time keeping up. Soon they stood in front of the whole kingdom on the tallest balcony at the tallest tower of the castle.
Oh
Isn't this just beautiful, the whole kingdom? Isn't this just beautiful, the whole kingdom, and to think that it all belongs to me? Peach stated, bewildered. I really do love this place. The citizens are amazing. I have the coolest boyfriend in the world, and the food is stupendous, and everything is just simply perfect. This is the worst English I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really have it going for you, Peach. It's the same for me as well. But I have real people as citizens, Zelda teased.
Racism!
Shots fired.
Jesus Christ.
Although if it weren't for Bowser and Ganondorf, we wouldn't always have these stupid tangles in our perfect kingdoms. I know exactly what you mean. Why do you think they are? I guess you were the lucky one, though. You aren't always being kidnapped like I am, Peach joked. This is the worst banter I've ever heard. It's almost as long as The Walking Dead. Haha, if either of us were the lucky one, it is you, silly, Zelda retorted. I wish it were me taken instead of the citizens and the Triforce. Link would have me out of there in a flash and all would be well. No, you are lucky one. No, you are. After some playful argument, which ended quite promptly, Peach ran to her bed in the room attached to the balcony and grabbed a fluffy pink pillow. Want to fight about it, she said coyly. You're on. I'm going to try and get through this next paragraph and keep my job. It may be okay, though. They broke out in an exhausting battle of pillows and feathers flying all over the place, landing hit after hit on each other. Zelda smacked Peach on the head, and her crown hit the ground.
I don't understand what you wrote about. It sounds like Super Smash
so,
Bros. Here.
So far, so good. But that did not stall their battle. Peach jumped at Zelda, and her with pillow in her hand, and arms above her head screaming random gibberish. She knocked Zelda over and landed on top of her, and they soon lay side by side on the ground, panting for air. I'm getting anxious now. Haha, that was entertaining, Zelda said, trying to catch her breath. I need to do this more at home, haha. The amount of ha-has...
Look, I scrolled ahead a bit. You're safe for quite some time, actually.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Do you have any fun at your castle, Zelda? I thought you were very proper and full of etiquette, Peach laughed. Yeah, but it's times like this when I'm with my friends that I don't need to worry about anything because the castle can't bother me with duties when I'm away. I see. I'm so glad we had the chance to hang out today, Zelda. You are so much fun and you aren't being serious, she chuckled. What should we do now? Because you showed up late. It's already past 6 o'clock. Well, you know what time it is once it's past 6 o'clock.
Bedtime.
Yeah.
Tea time.
In the Mushroom Kingdom, that's how we roll. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Is anyone else free today? Zelda asked, curiously seeking more company. So she's already over it. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone is busy doing something or other. That's why I called you. So you're the bottom of the list. Not that you're my last choice, but you are the bottom of my contacts list on my phone, she blushed.
Oh my god.
Pass me the baton. I've skipped ahead to give the people what they want.
Yes, all right. Segue music.
They meet up with Rosalina and they end up having a game of Truth or Dare, is what we're now up to.
I thought you were going to say something else there.
I tried to skip.
Totally waiting for a gangbang.
Well, we're about to get there. The game proceeded like this until all of the PJs are on the floor and all of them were only clothed in their bras and panties. They were all thinking of dares or truth questions that would make the others remove more clothing, and if they didn't, they were out of the game. Truth or dares?
We can see why Dylan skipped ahead for this.
Truth or dare, Zelda? Rosalina asked, thinking that her next question would disqualify Zelda. Dare, Zelda said. I dare you to flash me and Peachy, she said slyly with a wink. Either way, you'll be showing me what's under your bra to us, or you're disqualified. She giggled to herself. Well, Zelda said as she turned red, I cannot afford to lose this game. She winked and pulled her C-cups out of her bra, fully exposed to both Peach and Rosalina. They were both speechless. I didn't think you would. Truth or dare, Rosalina, Peach giggled. Truth, please, she said, still shocked from the previous action. If you do have feelings for someone, are they a boy or a girl? Peach said with a quite girly giggle. I don't want to remove my bra.
Oh,
and I
feel like with every line that's read during this, everything that we've done in the last hour and a half.
Yeah, it's done.
Video games, everybody.
I don't want to remove my bra and I don't want to get disqualified and lose the game, Rosalina thought to herself. Well, here goes nothing. I like women, she said strongly. So she said, I like women. I have liked women for a long time, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Peach clapped. I'm so glad you're so honest, Rosalina. Me too, Zelda put out. Without honest, what fun is this game? Zelda asked Peach.
Without honest?
I'm not making it.
Yeah, I can see
without
it.
honest, yeah, it does say without honest.
Zelda asked Peach,
Yeah.
Truth or dare, princess? Truth, she said, afraid of what they might dare her to do. Before Zelda asked a question, Rosalina said, I gotta go to the washroom, guys. I'll be I'll be back. Play without me until my turn. Like, okay, the others said together. Zelda continued, have you done it with Mario yet? Oh, we're getting to the hot stuff now, guys.
Oh, God. I had a very low opinion of the internet before today, but I think it's actually gone a little bit lower.
I'm trying to find a good point to be like, okay, that's enough for it, but we got to find out. Peach turned a
Welcome to fanfiction.net.
Peach turned a very bright shade of red. No, I haven't, she uttered. I don't know when is the right time. And to be honest, I'm afraid he won't want to do it if I ask him. And what if I don't even please him? What will he think of me? Zelda said, well, I've done it with Link like a bazillion times.
Like a bazillion times. Good on you, love.
His Master Sword gets the job done.
Mario has been doing zero plumbing, though.
Well, he's not a plumber anymore, remember? So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, no, they have reinstated him. They have reinstated him as a plumber.
Not in this fanfiction.
No.
It's not really that hard, Just do what your body knows you want to do. She winked at the nervous princess and Peach.
God.
Peach got on all fours and said quietly in Zelda's ear, I know this is going to sound really weird, Zelda, but what is it? Could you maybe... Oh, never mind, Peach said fearlessly. No, tell me, Zelda said. I won't laugh. Peach whispered quietly in Zelda's ear, could you show me?
Serious podcasting.
At the request, Zelda turned very red. She wasn't exactly embarrassed. She was just wide-eyed and amazed that the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom could even think of something this out of the ordinary. Peach, are you... I'm not lesbian, Peach spat out quickly. I'm just not exactly straight. And as much as I love Mario, I can't think of how, doing it with a guy would be pleasurable.
Okay.
You're not straight. I just thought that girls know what girls want, There's the commas, the lack of commas are fucking me up there.
No grammar.
She sat back down from her all fours position. I'm sorry, I know it was a ridiculous request. No, Zelda blurted out. No, Peach, it's not ridiculous. I was just surprised as all. Do you really want me to show you? Because I can if you're that interested. Peach sat back down and thought for a second before saying with an energetic smile, let's do this thing.
Okay,
that's a good point.
Paul, that's your
That's
cue.
a good
No, this is where I'm at.
Hey, Drew.
I've lost where we are after we skipped. I couldn't.
I've lost where
I was
we
hoping
are.
that was a good point to end the segment, but if you want to do the whole thing, we'll be here for like another 2 hours.
Well, thankfully, because of what Dylan did, he skipped us about 3/4 of the way
Yeah,
through
he did,
it.
and
so-
it's still going.
All right,
quite fucking long.
Oh my
the
God.
very last.
It gets really bad.
So I'm just gonna read
Holy
the
shit.
third to last line. We'll read from there.
Yeah.
So we've got absolutely no context where we are.
Fine.
So if you are both as tired as I am, then we should probably get some sleep, huh? Pete suggested. Yes, I think so, said Zelda. But only if we can sleep close enough to feel each other against ourselves, Zelda said with a wink. Of course, the other two said. And that's the end.
Oh God, thank God. There is a whole paragraph just above that. If we got Paul to read that, Paul, you wouldn't even have to go to work tomorrow, mate. That'd be
they'll know about it before this even goes to air somehow.
Yeah. So in the author notes, they say, "This is my first ever story of anything. I have read a lot of stuff, sexual and not, but this is the first I've ever written. If you like it, then good. If you didn't like it, please tell me what I should do differently. Constructive criticism is always good. Hope you enjoyed this story."
Definitely.
Look, I'm usually all for constructive criticism,
especially being a teacher.
But I have to make an exception here.
Okay.
I've got some feedback for you, person X.
What's that?
What?
Never do this again. Ever.
Don't be so harsh. I mean, it could be. Oh, I'm never going to go there.
Look,
I mean,
this could
totally
be the next
some of the most
50 Shades of Peach.
Now, that would have been a more appealing title for the thing. Like, they would have brought people in.
I
Not Peach Cross
there's one out
Zelda.
there.
There's definitely one out there.
But yeah, no, that was bad.
All right, no, guys, thanks for that. Sorry for putting you through that.
That's okay. Just know that you've erased any integrity between the three of us now. Well,
it's just that we'll never be able to look at each other the same anymore. Like, we shared something just now.
We'll get the packs and we'll just look at each other and blush. Yeah,
Well, three of us will. Dash won't be there, but...
Yeah, true. So, guys, that's the end of episode 59 of the House of Mario. What a way to wrap it up. I don't know if you guys want to
Thanks, Paul.
leave.
I think I just had to post, and sorry,
post it in our chat.
I've posted one particular paragraph that I think is just the most extraordinary piece.
She
of
pushed two
literature.
fingers inside of Peach's virgin lips.
It's come from this same story, brother.
Yeah.
I'll leave a link to the story in the show notes if anyone wants to check out the full thing.
Oh God!
Oh please.
But no, guys, thank you very much for joining me. If you guys want to leave, let the audience know where they can find your stuff.
All right, then I'm going.
If anyone's still with us.
Yeah. After how long? How long?
It's like
almost
2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. Nice.
You go, Paul. Pimp away.
So I'm now full-time at Player 2 because I'm not allowed to teach anymore. Player2.net.au, reviews, previews, blah, 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 blah. Go check out my Messenger review. There's some awesome stuff there, as well as links to all the videos that we have on the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/player2netau. And that includes things like The Insider, Patched, Gamer School, which is now complete. I think we spoke about this when I came on a few weeks ago, but it is now complete. So the entire series there that looks at the Mana franchise.
Podcast form too.
In podcast form. It's the first thing that I've kind of put out, which is in audio. I should probably do that more. And Paul James P2 on Twitter.
What about you, Dash?
You can follow me over on Twitter at Dash Gamers. Of course, you can listen to me over on Dash Culture and Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts with the 8-Bit Collective, hashtag 8-Bit Collective, hashtag Stay Hungry. And yeah, I think that's it from me.
Yep.
You can follow me on Twitter, Vivaladil, VIVALADIL. Check out Explosion Network at explosionnetwork.com. And you'll find podcasts, video shows, links to our Twitch, YouTube, articles, news reviews, all sorts of great stuff there.
Excellent. And you can find me at iDrewby on Twitter and the show at the House of Mario. We have a Discord community which has lots of friendly folks in there, so pop in there if you have a chance. iTunes review helps a lot with the show, so if you have an Apple account, feel free to do that. If not, just give your friend a tap on the shoulder and say, hello.
They're reading some awesome fanfiction on this show. You should subscribe and come back for more. Yeah.
Also, we're not affiliated with the House of Mario at all. Hashtag 8-Bit Collective.
All right, guys. Let's end the show this week with Nintendo Jukebox with a Yoshi's Island remix by Noke. Really cool. Has lots of, really awesome tunes.
Sure, they're still around to listen to this.
Yeah, if you're still around to listen. All right, guys. Catch you later, and we'll be a bit milk clean next week, I think.
Sorry, Bryce.
Oh, you say that now.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
What a show.